All right, thanks, Adam. KG, that is how you take care of business right there.
No, absolutely.
No playing around with your food. Right. You got it done early.
They really did, and this is what we expect of this team each and every night. The way that they continue to meet the standard, 6 players in double figures, 40 assists, took care of the basketball once again, only 9 turnovers. This is exactly how they need to play each and every night, and they will be successful.
Now, we understand with the Brooklyn Nets, no Michael Porter Jr., no Drake Powell, but still, this Bulls team said it didn't matter. We want to make sure to take care of this team because this is the pride game we talked about coming into this ball game, which sets up a very big week for this Bulls team because now that was the first of their 4 home games we're going to see in their next 5, and it's a great way to start things off for the stretch.
It's a great way, and what you just said is that this was a pride game tonight. You had lost 2 games in a row to a team you really should have beaten. They took care of business tonight, and they did it in a convincing fashion as well. And even if Michael Porter Jr. was playing tonight, I think even if he plays, that the Bulls still run these guys out of the gym tonight, the way that they play.
Yes, no doubt about that. I mean, shot the leather off of the basketball. And we'll get into that for Toyota Bulls postgame live after this break. Bulls with a big win, 124-102 over the Brooklyn Nets. KG and I are just getting started. We're going to break this thing down even more when we come back from break.
And this year, they've been the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. Turnover. Bulls got number 4 and 2. Let's get it up.
White, Jones, White, 3.
Bang, bang, bang.
He's hit 7 of them tonight. Coby White.
Yes, Coby White, a.k.a. Sub-Zero, was on one tonight, people. Season-high 7 threes for Coby White, part of his 24 points and his big-time Bulls win against the Brooklyn Nets, 124-102. Welcome into Toyota Bulls postgame live. Cam Smith with my man Kendall Gill. As we see the final stats, KG, 41 assists, which ties a season-high for this Bulls team. 41 assists on 49 made field goals. Impressive stuff.
They really did. They really spread the basketball around. As we said before, 6 players in double figures. And, you know, that is the way that this Bulls team has to play. I mean, you don't have like one superstar. Like other teams do, like a Denver, like a Minnesota, where Edwards can go off for 55 points a game. So you have to do it collectively. And, you know, that's something that the Bulls have been doing as of late. That's the reason why they've won a lot of games this season.
Right. And Coby's White star was shining the brightest tonight out of everyone. Even though they do it by committee, Coby was the guy for this Bulls team. And this is our Toyota player of the game. I talked about the 24 points that we saw from Coby, the season high, 7 3-pointers, KG. And when you shoot the leather off the ball like this, we understand why your nickname is Sub-Zero.
That's right. I mean, he was in a rhythm today. And we talked about earlier, when are we going to see that Coby White that we saw last year after All-Star break? We saw him tonight because he was in a rhythm. He knocked down a shot. He went up and he did not hesitate. You can see him right here on the step back 3, knocking it down. So, you know, Coby, I'm glad to see him finally getting into a rhythm. Looks like he's not thinking about his calves either.
I love that you made that final point, KG, about Coby not thinking about his calves. And it just, you feel it when he lifts off with that jump shot, how he attacked the lane as well. Defensively, a couple steals for Coby as well. So that's a great sign for him moving forward with this week that the Bulls have. Obviously, them trying to get back over 500. But this Coby White makes this Bulls team a very dangerous group when you have a guy that is just really in the flow of the game and really finding a shot.
Yeah, it gives you an option now. You have a guy that's scoring a lot in the first unit. Then you bring Ayo on in the second unit. Now, as a coach, and you're trying to game plan against something like that, it is very hard because you structure your defense to stop one guy, then you got to structure your defense again to stop the other. And I like it because Ayo gives you a different look than Coby. Coby's more of a 3-point shooter, but Ayo can shoot the 3-point shot and he can get downhill.
Yeah, and we're looking at Ayo's last 5 games, including tonight where he had 19 points. So we're going to unpack Chicago's finest with this one. But KG, you just see the consistency with Ayo. But also going back to that Houston game, we were watching that game. We talked about it on Postgame Live of that not being the normal Ayo we're accustomed to seeing, right? He was turning down shots, not really in a rhythm with that ball game, but that very next game, that win against the Utah Jazz, he got back to what we've seen this season, and that's be a guy that's a problem for opponents.
And you know he's going to do that. He's not the type of player that will have consecutive bad games in a row. Whatever the problem is, if he does have an off-par game, he is going to correct it and get back to being Ayo Dosunmu. And what is that? knocking down open three-point shots, and getting downhill to his right.
Yeah, that's a season high 5 threes that Ayo made tonight. But also you can throw in the block, the steal as well. He had 5 assists. So Ayo's one of those guys, we mentioned this, and you just said about what he is in terms of when you compare him and Coby White, with Coby just being more of a perimeter shooter, but Ayo is a guy that can get downhill, knock it down from 3, but also on that other end, KG, really do some things defensively. We saw a few possessions with he and Cam Thomas were matched up one-on-one. Ayo doing a great job of moving his feet and defending without fouling.
No, he really does, and that's why he's so coveted and so valuable, because he can play both ends. We all know how he guards Trey Young. He gives Trey Young fits, a 4-time All-Star guy who's an elite player in this league. And anytime, whatever you ask of Ayo on the defensive end, he's going to give that to you.
Yeah.
And that's why he's so valuable.
Something about those Chicago basketball players, man, just breeds toughness from the city. We know what we're talking about there. All right, now we've given Coby love, we've given Ayo love, but we got to bring the big men to the forefront and shine a spotlight on the bigs, because bigs need love too, right? I mean, Billy Donovan going with the double big lineup of Nikola Vucevic and Jalen Smith. KG, both bigs with a double-double tonight. It was the 7th for Jalen Smith and also for Vooch. It's the 17th of the season for him when it comes to double-doubles.
Yeah, look, the double big lineup in my era was just the way that it was.
It was just power forward center. Right. 4-5.
Power forward and a center. And I'm not surprised that this works, because it used to work back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, and because you have 2 big men back there, you have 2 guys that can rebound that are bigger than most of the other opposing players. You also have 2 guys that can knock down 3-point shots.
Yeah.
And also score in the lane. The Bulls doing a great job of scoring 56 points in the paint tonight. And a big reason for that is because of Jalen and Vooch's play.
Yeah, +6 on the glass as well. Out rebounding the Brooklyn Nets 52-46. But it just helps, KG, when you think about your time and going back to the original lineups, right? There was no double big, but the luxury of it, of having a power forward at center that can attack the glass and really start you out on your break. I mean, this Bulls team was up and running throughout this ball game, but it started from them rebounding the basketball, which ignited their fast break.
Yeah, and that's what the double big lineup does. I mean, it gives you 2 legitimate rebounders down there. And if you have another guy that can rebound, perhaps a guard, now it's even better for you, because you guys are going to attack the glass. You have the advantage there, which is what the Bulls had tonight, and that is the reason why they were able to get out on this Brooklyn Nets team early. Yeah, no doubt, and we're going to give a look at when it comes to Jalen Smith, Nikola Vucevic, but also Matas Buzelis, because 4 of the 5 starters for this Bulls team, all in double figures, part of the 7 guys that they had in double figures for the 13th time we've seen this season. Matas Buzelis, back-to-back double-digit games. He had 15 in Brooklyn Friday night. Remember that first half wasn't the Matas that we wanted to see, turned up in the second half, but tonight consistent from beginning until end with the 17 points. Yeah, and listen, I love the way that he shot the 3-point ball with confidence tonight. Also, you see him there, the way that he took the basketball to the basket with confidence. And, you know, he had a bad first half in Brooklyn, but then he rebounded, and that's called mental strength. When you can rebound from a bad half, and now for 6 quarters in a row, rather, he has played great basketball. Yeah. And that's the way you build your confidence as a young player. Defensively, 2 blocks for Matas as well. Great, so man. Just activity on both ends. And that's what you want to see from Billy Donovan's group, because we've heard Billy talk about the price of admission for this Bulls team to win ball games. One, taking care of the basketball, knocking down shots, but defensively on that end of the court, making sure that they make it tougher for their opponents, but not just give free runs to the basket and just have them with contested shots on the perimeter as well. Yeah, listen, I believe Matas, once he learns the correct techniques defensively, can be one of the best defenders in the league. Yeah. I believe he can be top 5. I believe that he can be first team all defense for a number of years, simply based off of his athleticism, his frame, and his mentality. Once he becomes that and reach that defensive level, this Bulls team is really going to take off, because not only are they going to have it on the offensive end, they'll have it on the defensive end as well. I'm going to throw this note out. I didn't throw it out for Countdown Live, but when it comes to Matas Buzelis, since he entered the NBA last year, he's one of 5 NBA forwards with 15 or more games with 3+ blocks. Yeah. Now, the other 4, talking about all defensive player, something that Matas says he wants to be coached like by this Bulls coaching staff. Here are the names, the other 4 names in that group:
Jaren Jackson Jr., Evan Mobley, Anthony Davis, Isaiah Stewart. So he's on the right path to being one of those better defenders in the NBA, but also an all-defensive guy.
No, I mean, all he needs to do is, like I said before, learn the techniques. He's on his way already, and he's doing this naturally without really knowing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Okay? Wait till he figures it out and knows what he's doing on the defensive end. Now he's going to be unstoppable.
Scary hours for a lot of offensive guys that think they have a free run to the basket or think it's going to be a sweet night with Matas Buzelis. Not happening, especially how he blocks shots. Now, going on with what we've seen from this Bulls team and what we saw from this Bulls team tonight, we got to bring easy like Sunday morning into the conversation.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Trey Jones, another double-double on the season floor, my man. And just, it's with him and what he does to impact winning, KG. Always impressive. It's his 4th double-double of the season, but also one of the better guards in the NBA when it comes to scoring in the paint.
Yeah, I mean, and he finishes. And the reason why, and we talked about this a couple games ago, is because he's a master at using angles. He knows how to attack the defender's hips when he gets down hill, as you see him doing right here. He attacked the hip of the defender, got downhill, and nobody can block his shot. And, you know, we talk about glue guys. He's the ultimate glue guy. Okay, because he really keeps this team together when they need to be together. And like we keep saying, he's the calming force for this basketball team and does whatever you need done in order to win ball games.
I just really love one of the late plays of the ball game with Trey still on the court with Coby White in transition. Coby's bringing it up, does not go for the three, finds Trey, who's kind of almost maybe around mid-court or right in that center line. And Trey decides to throw it back to Coby, who had a wide open shot, forcing that defender to just be in limbo with a 2-against-1. Coby knocks down a 3, but it's just part of the calming force of Trey Jones and how he sees the basketball floor and touching on that basketball IQ. All right, we got more coming your way after the break on Toyota Bulls Postgame Live. We're going to hear from Bulls head coach Billy Donovan after this nice win for the Bulls over the Brooklyn Nets.